on, man?
A murky Tuesday. Let's hope for no rain like there was last night, because we got big softball and we got some baseball and all kinds of outdoor events.
There really are a lot of outdoor events.
But the main events tonight are indoors, correct?
I believe so. I mean, what more can you ask for? You've got some, hopefully some teams that'll make it to Pan Am for the weekend.
We get one.
Yeah,
we guaranteed
for sure.
One.
Guaranteed.
We got a Valley matchup. You got Harlingen South and Sharyland. Boy, not a lot of people expected Sharyland to be there. I'm not even sure if they did.
Let's face it, Greg. Let's face it. Nobody expected Sharyland to be there, and their upset was really one for the ages. Rowe just didn't show up. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, I can't put it any more delicately. They didn't show up. They were horrible from the field. Horrible from the free throw line. Sharyland shut down one of their best shooters in Alan Martinez, and what can you say? You know what I mean? Sharyland showed up and they wanted it more.
You know, a lot of times if a team is going to pull the upset, it's that want-to factor. It has a lot to do with it. Everybody counted them out. Well, their coach this and new group this. Hey, they man, 58-50. Sharyland moves on. Was Rowe just not challenged for so long that they were flat? But you can't say that per se, because they played well against Los Fresnos.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
They by 27.
Yeah, they rolled Los Fresnos. And maybe you do become complacent. I mean, there's really not much to say. I mean, it was at home. I mean, the whole valley was there. I mean, that's what it seemed like. Yeah. I mean, I parked on the other side of campus. Yeah. You know, and by the time I got in, anyway, it was a sight. I mean, I had never seen Rowe like that this year, and congrats to Sharyland. You know, I'll be the first one to say it. You know,
in the playoffs, man, you have one bad night and down you go.
And it's horrible that way. You know, what are you gonna do when
all those wins, 31, 30 in a row? It's just, you know, I hate to see it. Yeah, I hate to see it for Rowe, and I love to see it for Sharyland. By the way, I'm doing research for my book, and I was telling you before we came on here, Sharyland. Maybe some people over there still remember this, but they went to the state tournament all the way to the Final Four as a 2A team in 1978. They had a kid called Townsend, LaFoon, Noe Gomez. They had some great players, man. They were a tiny little school at the beginning, and now here they are in 5A, and if they win, they go to Pan American.
There you go. And Edinburg North's got that shot also.
Yeah, Edinburg North.
They're on the road. They're playing in Corpus, which I never understand. Why go all the way to Corpus when you're playing a Laredo team?
I know, yeah.
There's got to be a midway.
Let's make sure both teams are really put out, you know, by the trip. Quickly though, let's talk a little bit about Harlingen South and Sharyland, because I saw Harlingen South beat Vela, but boy, it was close.
That's what the rumor is, or that's what the fact is.
Golly, what a game! What a game! They've played. Baylor's played some of the most exciting games this season. They won 24 times. They came this close. And what I'm telling people is basically the seniors won. Okay? The young team, in the end, did its best, but the seniors of Harlingen South, and it is a very good lineup. It absolutely. Here's the thing, though. They're not a very big team. So we're going to see if Sharyland can get Patrick Delatorre on track and feed him the ball, because South has one big man, and he's really a wing, Preciado, and boy, he had an amazing game. He was really tough. So I think Sharyland has a chance matchup-wise, but with Nick Garcia of South, he just is an unbelievable player. I think he might be the MVP of the Valley. I really do.
The Valley. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Sharyland's got their bigs, but you can't count. I mean, we were talking about him the other day, Andres Cantu. I mean,
I love the kid. He's the best. Number 20.
He had 13, you know.
Yeah, hit some threes.
He was all over the place. It's an all-around focus that team has. I know Harlingen South has a few players, you know, but this team, they always seem, and they get help off the bench.
Oh, they get a lot of help off the bench, man. 8 or 9 kids at least.
Exactly, and you know, Pistocacha is who he is, and he's
16, 6, and 6 in one game. He can do it, man.
Yeah, he really is. They're believing. They've got that certain edge right now that I think happens in sports a lot of the times. Where I mean, look what happened with the Colts, and their coach who had cancer. You know, it's whole mentality. You rally against someone being down, and then in this case, your coach. But Coach Gonzalez, man, give it to him.
Oh, that guy's awesome. Sure, he's the best.
Doing a great job.
It's interesting. Do you know that I ran into Cantu's dad, Art Cantu. He told me that young Cantu was invited to go overseas for a couple of weeks with Tony Parker and his gang to play in a clinic and a tournament type of situation over there.
Nice.
I think he's got a chance to be one of the best players in the Valley next year. And who's saying that he's not one now? Look at all the juniors on that team.
I know, that's...
De La Torre, Pisticate, another big kid, and Cantu. Shit, you know, I'm all here saying, well, Vela's going to be number one to start the season. You flip a coin between them and Sharyland.
You really can, because the way Vela handled themselves this year,
They were great.
It was just one game after the other, and they got...
Ryan Garza again. He almost made it, Pete.
He had
He's
one.
a 65-footer. It was a joke. I mean, everybody just held their breath. Oh my God! Boom! It hits the rim. Sharyland's got that edge right now. They've got some momentum. They made the big upset. But let me tell you why South is probably the favorite. Because the team is just a bunch of killers, man. I don't mean literally, but and some people say, well, they have bad attitudes. They talk a lot, and they do. They do. Now I'll be the first one to admit it. They don't comport themselves in the normal way one would expect. But that makes them good because they're cocky and they're intimidating and they are going to make you take it to them to win. I really feel like that team has an edge against Sharyland, just all things being equal. They don't have as much depth, though. They really don't. They got 6 or 7 kids, and that's it.
For those who haven't found out, they play tonight at State Farm Arena, where it's expected 6,000 people in attendance.
That's going to be amazing.
That should be insane.
And it'd be from the Valley. It'd be like 20 people from North at the Moody. So that's okay. I expect, and this is not the kiss of death moment, hope. I expect North to have not as difficult a time with Alexander as it would have had in the past. This is not the great Alexander teams of old. Like the great Alexander teams. So it's still a good ball club, but still the third round. But the way North played against PSGA, and we saw that game,
exactly,
they're going to kick Alexander's butt if they play that well again.
PSGA, I mean, they had a banner season. It was great. I mean, you play off another playoff berth. I mean, Luis Macias. What can't you say about him that really hasn't been said? I mean, he's a baller. Just against North, I mean, that foul trouble really hurt him again, and the North wasn't Hannah's, and it really took care of it.
Man, North did everything right. They shot the ball well. They played great defense. They got the ball down low when they wanted. Their passing was amazing. They're so quick and athletic, and it's just like a summer league game, man. They just get up and down the court, find the open man, go to the goal. The layup that Brian had that I was trying to write about was a left-handed. He took it up like Dr. J, and I mean, it was amazing, man. They killed him.
It really was good. I mean, I really feel bad for PSGA. They've grown on me this season.
I know, right?
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching them. I really have. You know, Oscar played well, but he was on the bench. You can't have one of your better players on the bench, and that's a problem. Jose Lopez stepped up. You know, he did a good job as well. But what are you gonna do about it? I mean, that one kid can't do it all against a team
against
like
8.
North.
Yeah, oh my God, everybody played well. Tito hits 8 points in the second. The game wasn't the right matchup athletically for Oscar because he is a big guard, kind of almost a forward. I'm not going to say he wasn't quick enough. North was too quick, and they would not allow him to put the ball on the floor and go to the goal, which is what he likes to do. He made some things happen once he came back in, but no, PSG was outmatched, and hey, man, they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
They won 23 games. It's a fine season for them. I think North wins. I think they go to Pan Am, and there, of course, they're probably going to have to play Converse Judson, the number 1 team in the state. And we were looking at the stats the other night. Yeah, you're looking at 80 to 50 or something like that. There's no way to. If they do better than that, then I'll give them credit.
Yeah,
just because Judson has been they were in the USA Today's top 25 in the nation earlier in the season.
We'll get there. Hopefully they can get there. I mean,
I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I'm not giving them a jinx. No, I'm not. They're going to win. Alexander's not that good. We deserve to beat Alexander a few times because they've beaten our teams a ton. I'm going to enjoy this one if they do.
There you go.
Yeah, it's terrible. But
so you got those 2 games tonight in basketball, which should make for a very exciting thing. I mean, you're available. You can't make the trip to Corpus. Go to the State Farm. What more can you ask for?
Well, what do we say all year? North, Rowe, and who? Harlingen South. Yeah. Then Sharyland for a while. So the best teams have made it through for the most part.
They really have.
Except Rowe.
It's winnowed out to who needed to be there or who was expected to be there, and of course, unfortunately, the biggest upset of the season.
Golly,
it might be the biggest upset of sports so far.
I can't think of a big one. I mean, it's something else. It really is something else. I mean, everybody thought Rowe was going to win.
Everybody.
And they did.
Everybody.
They
everybody did. I will be the first to admit I even thought Rowe was going to win, and hands down to Sharyland.
So that's his life. Well, what about soccer? Soccer's getting good, huh?
Soccer is getting good. There's a big one tonight. PSG North and Mac High.
Raiders score a lot, 30 goals. Tony Esparza's tough.
He's got 9. Yeah, he's good. But Mac High's got Brandon on a hill, and he's got 6. It should make for a good match first place match.
Yeah, if they
What
beat
can you
them
ask for?
clear, if they beat them clear and clean, they can tie them, I believe, at 25.
Yeah.
So they're right there.
Yeah,
Not
and then
bad.
also PSG Memorial in San Benito, who are
Those are both good teams.
who are fighting for third and fourth.
Those are playoff teams
in the
right there.
playoffs. You know, the four spots are the two matchups tonight.
Memorial's hanging around a little bit below the radar, I think at 13 or 15. They can get on a roll. There's plenty of time for most teams to make a radical change in the standings. I'm not sure that will happen, but in other words, they're not out of the race yet.
Exactly.
Memorial and Mac High girls are the ones that are neck and neck.
Yeah.
Right now, they're 1 point apart. McAllen got revenge over Rowe because they lost 1-0 in that first game. Rowe's problem is doesn't score enough because Memorial scored 50 goals and McAllen scored 30 something. They just pepper the net. Those teams are so athletic and so stringent. They expend so much energy and they shoot so much that they're going to score some. Now, Rowe does have a fine defense. I expect them still to make the playoffs. They play San Benito on Friday. That's going to be a big game. So right now, neither McAllen or Memorial has a huge schedule this week. They just got to do their thing and win and keep in the standings where they are, which is 1 point apart.
Promotion, yeah, exactly. Over in your district,
It's Lincoln North. That's the big matchup tonight, both in the boys and girls, because the Edinburg North girls are right now running at, I believe they're third, and they can pass Lincoln. If they win a clean game with 3 points, they can pass Lincoln for second. Lincoln, Sharyland North, and Palmview, that's the four in both districts, really. The North boys have been scoring a ton, 23 goals in district. Economides is falling out of the race because they can't keep teams from scoring. They've given up 23 goals or 25 goals. The Jags have had so many injuries on defense. Omar Puente's been out, Bola Joel Luna had a card. So, I mean, they just haven't played with the full complement of kids. They've got the talent to get back in the race, but right now they're on a losing streak, man. They're not playing well.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get it done. What else? We got some softball as well.
Well, we have a great softball matchup, the Grudge Match Series, round 1, installment 1. EHS at North, and that's why I'm hoping the weather will hold. It's a little misty outside, but I don't think it's going to rain like it was last night. EHS, the key here is the freshman, Desi Marmolejo, the pitcher. She also plays short. She has given that team a jump start in the early going here. And so, for a while I was thinking, well, North is here, EHS here, Vela here. I don't know, man. That girl is something else. She is something special. In volleyball, she energized the team and changed the dynamic entirely. And apparently she's doing the same thing to an extent in softball. They've got proven talent, but she's the wild card. And so if Coach Banda pitched her 3 times in a tournament in the space of about 24 hours, and she was just pow, pow. I mean, she's indefatigable, and that's one of my favorite words ever. And I'll say it again, indefatigable. So tonight is the first of a series of great games in the district. I saw Vela, and they look very good. They've got some freshmen, some new kids that you ain't heard of, and one of them is Sarah Lopez, and she is an amazing player and a great catcher. I feel like Vela has a chance to be up with those 2 teams before it's all over, and obviously I think Sharyland is going to be there before it's all over too. So the Jags, I think, are improved. We shall see.
Speaking of Sharyland, jumping the gender right there.
And that's popular these days.
Looks like they're up to their old tricks and being good.
Who is this guy? Let me look up his name. Rody Torres, man. Dude hit for the cycle. You don't see that a lot in baseball. You got one of each, like a single, double, triple, home run. Boy, they got all over Mac High early. 19-10, it sounds like a football game.
It really does, and at McAllen's tournament, I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, a lot of people thought it might have been a down year. They lose arguably the best player, or whatever.
Right.
But I mean,
and the coach. But a down year for Sharyland is probably still like really good for everybody else. That's the thing. Sharyland baseball, man. Golly.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, definitely the season's still young.
Rowe's not bad. Kid named Partida. I think Rowe's got a pretty good chance. Softball, Rowe's doing real well. In baseball, it's been a couple of years for Rowe, but I think maybe they might have a chance this year.
It should get good. I mean, it's all piling on us right now.
No problem. We got it.
What can you do? Just get.
We were hanging out looking at the website and trying to put some stuff together the other night, and we were both like, not to mention the fact that I got my,
Go big green.
Yeah, well, this is the new Pan Am shirt. Now, I would say it's almost more of a mint green than that forest green or Kelly green they've had. I don't particularly care for it, I think, on second glance, because I don't know. What do you think? It's all right. I like the logo, and I got like the horse on there. Until we change our nickname to the Banana Slugs next year. When we're on UTRTV. We're going to have a contest and see what people can predict what the nickname will be, because I don't think it'll be. For something tells me it won't be the Bronx. And I can tell you the school newspaper will not be called the Pan American.
That's
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
That's just bad news.
Yeah, it is bad news. My life's no teacher. Sure, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anyway,
What else?
I think we
Softball.
We have
Baseball.
Well, no,
District.
we talked.
We
baseball,
did.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk. My town's baseball.
Okay.
North won 11-0 over the Jags. EHS was postponed. Play tonight. Keep an eye on John Henry Gonzalez. I'm gonna say that from Edinburg High. That guy's tough. But North, I think, if they find some pitching, they can possibly, if not win the district, then certainly make the playoffs. And I think that they've come to expect that over the years. Damien over there has done a wonderful job. And so I feel I feel like Vela. You read about it in the paper. Vela somehow really played a good ball game and beat Austin Westlake. I didn't mean to say somehow. That's kind of an insult. They had a good tournament, 3-2. We'll see. They started out, I guess they played La Jolla. La Jolla may be back to its old tricks. You remember La Jolla was one of the best teams in the Valley for many years. The last couple of years they've been off and on. And Palmview even pushed past them last year. It looks like the Coyotes are back. They took out Vela in the first game, but I expect the SaberCats to challenge for a playoff spot. I'll say that right now.
There you go. There you go.
What else?
Go watch a basketball game.
Hockey? There is no Valley hockey. Oh, yeah, there is. There's ice bats or whatever heck they are. What are they?
The Killer Bees.
Killer Bees. Ice bats are in Austin. So I went to the first ice bats game ever in the history of hockey, and I haven't been to one since after that.
Wow.
I get too cold, so you can tell I'm cold already. All right, man. Hey, talking sports. Greg Selber, Pete Pettis. As usual, we're having a good time doing what we do. Check out the website. Tell your friends about the show. We're running into more and more people who watch this.
Yeah.
We want to spread the word because what we're about is talking about kids, teams, communities, and an occasional wisecrack thrown in.